Cindy Haven with Golden Bay Mortgage on the line today, and she has a tool that she shared with us months ago that I completely failed to really help you implement. So we're going to do this again to help you get some more leads, get some leads converted, and help you with your marketing. Golden Bay markets on your behalf, and they're not charging you for it. So this is definitely a tool that we should really implement. So I have Cindy on the line to just walk us through it. And then we'll have a meeting next week on our Thursday time. We'll meet next Thursday and go over this with Cindy live so you can get your questions answered. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you kind of the program here. Can you see this, Cindy?
I do.
Oh, shoot. Haha.
Uh-oh.
Now we have a fail. Let me try that again. Hang on. Oh, I accidentally over-clicked. So let me do this. 1 second. I'm going to go to your email. This is the email that explains what you do, which is prospecting for just listed, just sold, open houses, farming, and then kind of reactivating old leads, right, Cindy?
Right. So the circle dialing tool, we have someone who is trained and appointed, Kevin, who is our inside salesperson or ISA,
Yeah.
whom is trained and scripted to do these for you and your team, Krista.
Yeah.
So what will happen is each person will gather their list. They'll be working with more than likely their title rep, and they're going to get a copy of the list for their farm,
Okay.
or maybe they have an existing database of leads, or maybe they have, something that they've put together over several years. So the neat thing about this, though, is that it's ongoing. And so this can be an ongoing lead generating marketing tool for you that you do not have to pay for. All we ask is that with the loans, that those go directly to myself and the team.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll start here. So what you'll do first to make this easy. So step one, you will want to obtain your list through whatever resource you're using for the list, because we accept either a CVS or Excel file. You can have more than one campaign going on at the same time. So for example, you can have a property that was just listed or just sold, or maybe you brought in the buyer. You could also have like an open house. We typically ask for 3 days lead time to set this up, because for the open house announcement. So for example, if you have an open house on a Saturday, you would want to let me know the early part of the week. And that way we have Kevin set up with you. He'll reach out to you and set up the voice drop or a call campaign with you. Excuse me, I'm shutting off my phone. And so what he will do is reach out to you. You guys will coordinate a time via email to communicate. And you can either have Kevin do the direct dialing calls, or you can do a voice drop. You will also receive an email report daily. And typically it's going to look like this. You're going to have several, maybe no answers, a handful of wrong numbers. And then you'll have, if there are those that want a follow-up call or maybe more information, those you really want to jump on pretty immediate within the next 24 hours. There will be notes. So when the lead is generated, it may take a few days to generate a lead. And so what's kind of neat about this is you can also redo the campaign. You can email Kevin, since he did the campaign over a couple of days, and say you want to run it again the following week. You can actually have more than one campaign at a time, which oftentimes realtors will do or brokers will do, because it's a tool to keep you in front of those clients in that area that you're marketing.
Yeah.
So for example, you might have someone on your team within Fathom that sold something in the area. You could use that. Or maybe someone brought in, the buyer and was one side on that particular transaction in that farm that you're farming. So you can do that as well. You could actually have an event going on, open house event, or maybe you have an event at the clubhouse. This is like a condominium or townhome property.
Mm-hmm.
You might have an event, like a real estate event. You're going to be educating homeowners on the market. And so, for example, you would give us that information a week ahead of time. So we will have that information. Kevin will be able to invite people to your event, which is kind of neat, because you'll probably be, walking the neighborhood, inviting people, as well as having a backup marketing company support you there. On the farm, which is kind of cool. I'll give you an example. Several agents that pulled their farm through title will start this campaign. And maybe you don't see anything in the first couple of days, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's a lead. They want you to call them. They're thinking about selling, like a listing lead, which is kind of neat. And so you'll reach out to them. There'll be notes there from Kevin. And then we just ask that you let us know how that appointment went, because we like to know and celebrate your success. On old leads, this is something that comes up very often. If you have old leads, old databases, I'll give you an example. I have an agent that came from the Bay Area, gave me 4,000 of his leads. He used to be with Coldwell Banker. So I can have campaigns going on my side to do lead generation that I can shoot over to you guys, for example, because we look at how we can bring value and send leads over to our realtor partners as well. So with the old leads, those can be from Zillow, realtor.com, open houses. They can be from your farm or just over the years, maybe you've acquired them. What you'll do simply is you're going to click where it says click here on this page. It opens up to the next page, which gives you the instructions. And on the instructions, you'll click my name, Cindy Haven, and I'm the loan officer. And then you're going to click which campaign. So maybe your first campaign is an open house announcement. You've got an open house you're doing next week in Granite Bay. And so he will ask you for the address and information about that, because if he's going to do the voice drop, or if you're going to do the voice drop, you do want to make sure we have that information, and it asks you that on the form. Second will be,
Cindy,
for example, if,
the company is my company, right?
pardon?
Can you see what I'm doing? Can you see the share screen?
No, it's not coming up.
Oh, well, let me do this again, because I'm sitting here
Yeah, it's
long and showing it, and I want to make sure that they're seeing this. That's helpful. Okay.
okay, good,
So,
good. Now it's coming up.
okay, so let me go
So the
back.
second page to this,
Let's go back to page 1, just because I thought you were seeing this. That's why I was following along so nicely. Okay, so here's the first one. The circle dial request page talks about rules of engagement. Allow 3 days to get it uploaded, and then go to the next. Then we have the name of the loan officer. So I have my name, and then it says select the loan officer. So there's a drop down menu, and you need to scroll down to get down to Miss Cindy here. Click on Cindy. And then the company,
yes,
that was my question. Is this Fathom Realty right here? Is that what goes here?
yes,
Okay, that was my question. All right, phone number, my phone number, right?
yes, the
Okay.
broker agent number,
Okay, whoever the agent is, right? And then my
the
email.
email,
Okay,
because you're going to receive the report.
okay. And then which campaign?
You'll click on any one of these, so it's one per form. So
Oh.
there's a separate form for each one, so you can save this email. So maybe this one's just listed circle dials, and then he'll go over those scripts with you.
So I have
And the next one you can set up.
okay, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna set this up for my open house campaign, or my garage sale campaign. So I'm gonna do farm calls, because I have an event. That's the right one if I have an event, right?
Yeah, so garage sale would be perfect.
So next,
Hit next.
I think I did. Farm calls, right? Tell us about your
Yes,
farm. Okay, so this is a Rockland community garage sale, right? Neighborhood garage sale. So
yes,
put that down. Right?
yeah, and hit next over
Okay.
there. And then this is where you're going to upload your CVS or Excel file, CSV or Excel file.
Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Sorry, I am puppy sitting, and this dog is diabetic, and when his insulin gets low, I get a message. Sorry, I can't stop it. Okay, so this is what we have, and then so we add our file
Yes, so
here,
you're
and I
gonna,
need to do that to move forward, right?
yes, now we also follow the do not call list. So whenever you'll see the list, you'll see the calls that will be removed from the list
Okay.
today, because we'll get those and those will be pulled off the list.
Awesome. So what I know about this community, it's like a little over 500 houses, so 500 contacts or so, right?
Perfect. So anywhere from, like usually need a good 150 or more to 400 or 500.
Okay.
Keep the campaign going. which means if you don't have that, you're a newer agent oftentimes. So for newer agents to the business, they can get those very easily through title, and they're pretty reasonable, between $20 to $30 for a list. And it gives them also the email, the address, and the phone, which is good because they can also do like a marketing drop campaign if they wanted to.
Okay.
So I thought that might be beneficial because they'll be able to use the list for multiple types of business generating, activities.
Yep, I see my CSV file.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep this window open for a second. I'm gonna attempt to get this right.
Okay. Yeah.
Get this
Upload
right.
it. Okay.
Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna add the file, upload. So I'm gonna browse my desktop. And I'm gonna go back and look at this again. I'm going to, it's a list, there's a map, there's a CSV.
Which campaign was this for? The garage sale?
Garage sale, yeah.
Okay. And do you have a date and everything on that?
It doesn't have it, I have the date of when the contacts were made, like the CSV file when it was made. Is that
That's
what
okay. That's all you need, is just to upload it, because Kevin will ask you when he calls you, and I'll shoot an email over to him, Krista.
Okay,
So I'll shoot him an email and say, hey, Krista just uploaded the circle dialing campaign. And he will coordinate that with you. I don't do that. He coordinates. So he coordinates with you via email because of time zones.
okay, so I think I have it. I'm gonna go to the Zoom here and see if I can, whoops, share my screen. Share. Okay,
Okay,
I've got this Excel file in here.
there you go. And then hit submit.
Okay.
And now it's ready. So it goes into his queue.
Okay.
And then Kevin, the circle dialer and inside salesperson, will be reaching out to you via email to coordinate a time for you guys to talk on the phone.
Great, okay. And you said
Because he can go ahead and record your voice for the voice drop, which is, the voice drop would be a message that would be dropped to the prospective, sellers or buyers in the neighborhood. Because what comes out of this, sometimes there may be a family member that's looking, which we've had come up too. By doing these campaigns, maybe it's not that person, but someone in their family or one of their kids is looking to buy, or the parents are wanting to buy them a condo for school, things
Okay.
like that. We've seen a lot of different scenarios, which are kind of cool. And this is throughout all of California. So this particular program is offered to all through the state of California. And if anyone has any direct questions, any of the realtors, they can always reach out to me. I'm happy to walk them through it and to give them the step-by-step to make it easy for them. And the exciting thing is that you can put this on autopilot for the most part. Check your emails daily, because you will get a report. And we do pull down the bad calls, meaning the do not calls from the do not call list, or those that are out of order or something like that. So we do pull them off the sheet. So that's something that you would want to know too, because maybe you paid for a list that comes up sometimes, and maybe, a third of that list, those are pretty outdated numbers and they're not any longer, in operation.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think they're like 5 cents a name and number from a title rep. It's not very expensive to get a
No,
list.
it's very inexpensive. It's between usually $20 to $30. You'll go on, you'll talk to your title rep, because this is a little different than just pulling your farm, because you're going to ask them for the phone numbers
Right.
for that area. And so they'll just have you set it up and pay with a credit card. That's what I see on their website for any of the title companies, Chicago, Fidelity, whomever it may be, Cornerstone, whoever you have a relationship with. The other thing too is this is a really good time. So the title companies just brought on some additional tools. This is a big thing because they have scrubbed the lists for the most part now. They've got systems to do that. They have AI also that gives you another list that we can use. So I'm going to mention that now too. So with title companies, what's kind of cool is they've created this AI technology that they're using, and they're able to tell, for the most part, when buyers and sellers are going to do activity, meaning they can tell when someone's going to sell. It's kind of a little bit creepy because they're able to track kind of behavioral things online and pull data. In that data that they put together, that list has phone numbers and addresses. And so the neat thing for you to know is that can be uploaded to like a farm campaign or a specific event campaign, like Krista's doing with the garage sale, so that they're not aware that you're aware of their activities. You know, maybe they've rented one of those items that go on their property for storage, or maybe they have spent a lot of time going to Lowe's and Home Depot, that kind of thing. You know, maybe they're doing some home improvements. Maybe they've done a remodel. Maybe they built an ADU. Those are just some examples, but those are separate lists you can get from title as well. And one other thing that I would recommend is there's the rent versus own list that your title rep will have access to. A great example would be Folsom. So Folsom has a lot of apartments and corporate housing, and some of these folks are paying up to $4,000 a month for, you know, like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath right off the 50 freeway. So you can access those lists with phone numbers and addresses from title, and then you could start a campaign going through there too. You could also set up something at that particular property to maybe do an event, an educational event, along with backing it up with a campaign. So I think there's multiple ways to get value out of this. And then what I ask, and we ask with Golden Bay Mortgage, is any of the loan leads for any type of, you know, loans would be handled by myself, Cindy Haven. And I have a team as well that works with me that's very experienced, that's been in this business for many, many years, like 25 years. And we pretty much can cover all types of mortgages and help you with structure and walk you through the process. If you're not familiar with it, we're happy to do that and educate you, as Krista would know.
Okay, question. Is this for agents only in California?
This is for California only right now. So for the state of California only right now.
Okay, I just want to be clear.
Yes.
We know what our limitations are, but it can be anywhere in the state. You don't need to be in a specific.
Anywhere in the state. I write loans, just to give you guys an idea. I'm originally from Southern California, so mortgages can be written all over San Diego, Southern California. We do a lot of business on the Central Coast. My owner, brokers, so we do business all throughout California. Golden Bay Mortgage started in the Bay Area and moved to the Sacramento region several years ago. And so we do trainings all over the state, and we do business all over the state. If you do have an out-of-state brokerage, we can talk about that, because those are on a case-by-case basis with one of our partners, Krista.
Yeah, okay.
We do have some licensing in other states.
Okay. Well, I know my agents are primarily in California, so
Yeah.
for my purposes, this works great. But I do know as we expand the teams and such that there will be agents that are not necessarily here in California.
Sure. Sure.
Awesome. So what I took away from our conversation earlier today was this can be run in more than one campaign at a time. So I could have this garage sale campaign going, but I could also have one maybe even in the same community saying, hey, I've got this buyer program, or hey, I've got this seller promotion going on, or something like that. Yes?
Absolutely. Because, for example, you can have multiple campaigns going on. And what's kind of cool about that is that you can be generating business from one or both, or 3 or 4 of them for that matter. A great example of that is we had a condominium complex that we helped 130 of the owners just in the last 2 weeks. I had closed on, and the broker called me. They were having problems because of the insurance. We actually stepped in and helped get things resolved, and they made adjustments on that. And so now you've got all of those owners. The campaign can go on from a realtor over there. You could take a project, for example, an apartment project over in Folsom, for example, or a condominium off of Visona Circle. You could do that, as well as have like a home farm as well. You could have multiple farms. Most of these top realtors, I'm going to tell you, if you're new to the business, they will have multiple farms going on. They may have one in Folsom and one in Rockland, that kind of thing. They may have different niches that they're focused on. Quite honestly, maybe law enforcement or healthcare.
Mhm.
They will have certain strategic niches. When I say this, they'll talk to title that they want to pull certain types of industries,
Okay.
that kind of thing. So it just depends on what their focus and specialty is. It may not be always what you're thinking, like point of farm. They may isolate it to a certain type of niche market, for example. And I see that a lot. The senior community, Fair Oaks is a great example. We know that in many of those neighborhoods there, and I've spent time there, many of them have been in their homes for 30 plus years. They're going to downsize. They're either going to downsize, someone may be going into assisted living, living arrangements may be changing. So there's, those communities as well. And there's events that go on in those communities that you can use this tool for, along with like the garage sale event. You may live in a community, for example, that hosts certain events, especially we're going into the holiday season. So we've already kind of set up calls and discussions with people about what do you want to do for the fall campaign, right? We've got fall coming up, or Halloween, or Thanksgiving, Christmas, those kinds of things, or the holidays. So those are things to think about too now that we can do pre-planning and pull lists for and get them going. I thought that might be helpful to share with them. And what's kind of neat about this is you're not paying for the service. It's part of our Realtor First program. We really want to provide value. We want to see you build and grow your business and partner with you all the way. And so this is exciting for me to see, each person be able to tap into the tool and start to grow and develop business and get their, visibility out there. It's marketing. It's a whole marketing program behind you. And then we've got some other tools. I know, Krista, we can talk about later. That's going to support this as well. Once you get those listings and different things, we'll talk about that later in the next meeting.
I think this is great. So we will have a follow-up in-person meeting so you can have a minute to
Yeah.
connect with Cindy. And then I would suggest within the next week, before we meet up again on Thursday with Cindy, get in touch with the title rep and get your list together so that you can do it once we're on the call here and be doing it live. It doesn't take long, as you saw. It's just like a minute plus the file and you're done.
Absolutely. You can get your list that same day. So I've seen lists come within a couple hours of the request.
Yeah, right. And I have connections to some title reps. You just need to call me if you're not sure who to work with. I can text over some contacts. So Cindy, this is super cool. And again, this doesn't cost anything. This is
No, it's
like
a no fee.
free marketing.
That's the neat thing about this is,
Ah,
yeah, it can help you, especially, yeah. And many companies pay a good amount for this. So this is kind of a cool partnership, tool along with some of the other tools that we'll talk about in future meetings.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm excited to work with each of you and to help you build the business this year. And let's get going for the fall.
yes, exactly. And there's always what I see is so interesting because we get this dip at the very end of summer, and then usually October, believe it or not, is one of our highest closing months of the year, which I think is super weird. But every year I've looked at what
Same here.
and October is so busy. So now's a good time. I know people are just getting back to school and back into their routine, but there are people who are going to make some changes. And with the rates coming down, now's the time to get in front of
Oh
people.
yeah, we're busy. We're doing we started doing refinances last month.
Yeah, well,
So
I'm so glad because I said at the beginning of the year, people are like, well, what do you think rates are going to do? And I said, it's an election year. You just wait till fall and I
yeah,
believe those rates are going to drop. And I'm hearing again, like people are expecting the rates to go down even below 6 next year. So we'll see, but they are where they are now
exciting.
yeah. So thank you, Cindy. I
Yeah,
appreciate
put you in a position for selling.
Yeah. So I want to have our agents be ready. I want them to have campaigns in place. I want them to be in front of people so that they are top of mind. And this is a great tool. And I love that there is that support too. And I know Cindy knows her stuff. So
Thank you, Krista. I look forward to working with you and your team. We'll be talking to everyone next week.
all right. Thank you, Cindy.
Bye. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.